Okay, here's the latest. I don't know if you heard this butte, but let me see if I can run this one by you. It seems that the Cybertruck bomber, whose name I'm not going to mention, you can read it if you want. The man who allegedly is responsible for the explosion outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas presents now an alarming and unhinged narrative, if not completely unbelievable. In the note, Livelsberger, I'm going to say it now. It's the first time I've ever said it, but I want you to know who we're talking about, not the other guy. Alleges that China has been covertly stalking the United States with advanced drones launched from submarines, describing these unmanned aircraft as the most dangerous threat to national security that has ever existed. Now, the former Special Forces Green Beret and active U.S. Army Ranger sent the note to retired U.S. Army intel officer Sam Shoemate shortly before the attack. Why? The bomber claimed that these drones use gravitic propulsion systems. Actually, it should be anti-gravitic, and have been deployed by China from the Atlantic for years. But recent activity indicates an escalation of sorts. He compared their use to China's employment of surveillance balloons for signals intelligence and ISR, or SIG-INT, I think he called it. Intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. All alleging that dozens of such balloons are constantly in operation. Now, according to this man, these advanced drones possess near-limitless payload capacity and stealth capabilities, presenting what he called a checkmate scenario for U.S. national security. The note also demanded that the U.S. government disclose its own history of employing and weaponizing such technologies, as well as China's activities and potential countermeasures. Now, this man warned that China is poised to attack anywhere on the East Coast, portraying, obviously, an imminent and catastrophic threat. I'm so glad he's letting us know. Now, investigators are examining the potential connections between the Las Vegas bombing and the New Orleans terrorist attack on the same day, while also considering whether his actions were driven by personal grievances, mental health issues, or I'm going to say whether it's even him. Whether he had anything to do with this, because remember, he dispatched prior to the detonation. How did he do that? Now, the content of the note with its extraordinary claims adds a new layer of complexity. By the way, this is the Daily Mail reports this, by the way. It adds a new layer of complexity to the incident and raises questions about his state of mind and motivations. The explosion outside the Trump Hotel killed one person and injured 6 others. Not to mention his ultimate, compounding, in essence, the shock of his apparent moments before the blast. Authorities continue to piece together the details surrounding the attack, its motivations, and the disturbing claims made in the final message. Now, whenever you talk about somebody that 1 minute you say is crazy, and then you say is leaving a note, and then you say the note is crazy, you're kind of saying, well, you said he was crazy. You admitted it. So now, is he or isn't he crazy? And I'm not buying any of this unless and until I want to find out it was sent. You have to authenticate this. You have to go into court and have somebody look at, was it in his handwriting? Was it in some type of a device or some type of form where he has sent other messages and the like? How do we know it's him? How do we know? What is this? Between you and me, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Some guy who detonated something, but that's not it. It's the people who are proceeding with this. That's what I want to know. Who are they? Why are they saying this? What are they getting at? What is the purpose of this? How did he dispatch himself prior to this being detonated? What is the purpose of this if you exhibit some form of behavior that has really nothing to do with anything? What is the purpose? The same thing with the fellow in New Orleans. When you do something, say something. You have to, if it is a truly a terrorist activity, you tell people, this is for such and such. October the 7th wasn't vague, at least the way it was purported. You know exactly what the motivation behind that was. These activities mean nothing unless and until you tell people what it is that you're doing this for. It's not terrorism if people are scratching their heads. It's got to be unequivocally clear, limpid, clear. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm sure you do. Thank you for listening to me. I don't buy any of this stuff. None of it. You know what else I don't buy? I don't buy the fact that 87% of you great people watch my videos and don't subscribe. How is that even possible? Comment as you see fit.